I'll be talking to the one, the only, the fabulous George Michael, ladies and gentlemen. Liking that? Le weekend. Now, big legal news today, and Michael Jackson is said to be issuing proceedings against Martin Bashir. Are you telling me? And Granada Television. Apparently, Jacko was accused of Bashir of betrayal. Bit rich. Jacko calling someone else two-faced. Hello? Call for Mr. Pot. They wouldn't be calling him that. Now, a spokesman for the star has said the whole thing has made Michael Jackson furious. Still, he must be used to having his nose out of joint. It's going to be quite a sight. Jacko in court, surrounded by those people in wigs and gowns. What do you call them? Oh, yes, his children. Not right. You know, bubbles is one thing. And today in LA, the case started against a Japanese man, I'll say that again, a Japanese man accused of stalking Britney Spears. Britney's hoping the case will be low-key. Or is that the stalker's name? Do you say low-key? The Japanese man! Apparently he'd even peer through her letterbox. That's awful. I mean, who wants to wake up in the morning and find a Jap's eye staring at them? Anyway, I'm just going to guest on. See you in a second! Chopacana. I've just had a screaming orgasm, and now I think I'll have a slow, comfortable screw. I don't think I ordered them from room service. It's quite cold, the Club Tropicana, isn't it? Now, I love it here. I'm on an 18 to 30 holiday. I booked it last Christmas. I just rang the travel agent and wham, here I am. My girlfriend Faith is with me. Can't go anywhere without her. No, you've got to have faith. Actually, made a bit of a mess on the plane with my chocolate bar. Yes, I was careless with my whisper. Have you guessed yet? Yes, he's here. The original young gun and one of the greatest running artists of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, it's George Michael! Hello, sir. Hello. George Michael, ladies and gentlemen. Tell you. Oh. Welcome, George Michael.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
That's very good. Now, you've got loads of projects at the moment. We're going to talk about them later. But if
I don't know if I'd call it projects, but I've got loads going on, yes.
Loads going on. But if you'll indulge me, if we could just talk about Wham for a while.
Actually, I'm perfectly happy about it. I would love to talk about Wham. I've had such a heavy week talking about all kinds of things I'd rather not talk about. This would be light relief.
Well, it is, in fairness. No, Wham... So I nearly did, but no, I didn't. Now, the whole Wham thing, so it started in school, yourself and Andrew Ridgely, he popular boy, you not so popular
Me not.
boy.
Well, I was I suppose I wasn't unpopular. I was just not very, you know, you're popular if you're cool at school, aren't you? I wasn't very cool. I was, you know, little thing with glasses and curly hair and not much going on, really.
Oh.
But I had a lovely personality.
Of course you did. But now, I have to say, recently, obviously, we've come across your political side, but it strikes me that even early on, very political, and this is true, when I was at university...
Are you about to take the piss?
No, wham rap. It's so political. It is. It's, where is it? Wham, bam, I am a man. Job or no job, you can't tell me that I'm not.
It's...
no, it is. And I said, I may not have a job, but I have a good time with the boys that I meet down on the line. I said D-H-S-S. Man. We're giving its very best. I said B1, B2. No, but... Or make the claims on your name, all you have to do. But it was kind of...
It's amazing, isn't it?
It was kind of political.
It's amazing that no one has before understood the genius of that lyric.
Well, I'm sort of joking, but sort of serious.
Well, no, there's nothing... I mean, it's not... It's actually... I mean, it was very much based on Andrew's lifestyle, the idea of, you know, living off the state when really your mother's a teacher and your father works at Canon, you know, and you've got a perfectly healthy life at home and they're not making you put anything towards the housekeeping, but you just go off and get your money every week. He loved it. So that was what we wrote about. The idea of kids trying to do that now is just ludicrous.
Yeah, I don't think a moving tribute to the DHSS would go that well now.
No, I don't think so.
They've changed the name, for one. But now, I was reading, of course, your book, George Michael Bear, and some of the subject, some of the chapter titles...
What a complete load of... Well, I mean, it's not that it's badly written, by the way. Tony Parsons did a good job reading it, but what... Bear my arse. Do you know what I mean? It's like...
I haven't even asked.
Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, it says bear, and it's like I'm 24 or 25, and absolutely sod all had happened to me by then.
Oh, chapter three, a very early masturbator.
Huh?
Right there.
What a unique experience.
But this came out obviously before you did. But reading.
Oh, very good.
No one laughed. I'm just kidding. No, it wasn't even a joke. It was just
came out before I did.
Yeah, it did. But at the same time, though, it wasn't like a whole kind of your life was a fiction. I mean, when you were with Wham, you were kind of shagging girls. And,
absolutely. Well, I mean, you would, wouldn't you? You've got so much opportunity there, and well, it's true, isn't it?
You've got to give it a go. Now, I have to say, I mean, obviously, you can't come on a show like this without mention of the wanking in the toilet thing. And
which wanking in the toilet thing? Which one?
The arresting.
Oh,
the arresting.
of course.
That one. Yeah, the one we've heard about. And
the time I got caught, you mean?
Yeah, that one. Yeah. Possibly the last time. And see, this is the thing. This is the thing that amazing. The way you talk about it you're fantastic, sort of unapologetic about it. And you didn't go into hiding. You didn't, you know, sort of go, you know, draw the curtains. Like, was it the next night you were out in a restaurant in LA having dinner?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, what's to apologise for? You know, I'm a gay man. I'm at the time I was like 36 years old. To be perfectly honest, it was a lovely park.
Do you know?
Actually, you know what? That's one of the things that I thought was so funny. One of my relatives said to me, "Oh, it was a lovely park, though."
Weirdly, I've been in that toilet. And
you have?
No,
you've been since?
Yes, it.
Because I heard Elton's signature is in there somewhere. I believe that as well. No, that'd be just like him.
No, because you go in, and you immediately talk about how clean it is. It was a lovely toilet.
Well, exactly, it's a lovely toilet.
Very capacious cubicle.
And I have to tell you, opposite the Beverly Hills Hotel, the talent is not exactly shoddy. Do you know what I mean? Middle of Hollywood is probably the best concentration of fantastic-looking gay men in the world. I'm not saying that I would do it again. It was a stupid thing to do. And actually, I kind of think I did it. I think I was that blatant because I was in such a state. And in retrospect, I really think I did it to myself. But at the time, it took me months to admit that to myself.
See, they're laughing at the did it to myself bit. He said did it to himself.
To be honest, I think, you know, I think it's quite... I mean, I think to some degree the way I dealt with it meant that it was not really a problem. And I think that, you know, I mean... Can I be... If I'm perfectly honest, perfectly honest, outside of my career, I've had a terrible run of luck that started about 10 years ago. I've watched a partner die. I've watched my mother die. I went... Just after that, I went to see a a back surgeon who told me that if I didn't have 2 vertebrae removed within the next 6 months to a year, that I could be paralysed. So you just learn to have a different perspective. I don't give a toss if people have a real problem with me, you know, having... Thank you. I have a different perspective on life. I lost a lot of great things, but I still have a lot of incredible things. And the press doesn't really enter into it.
Well, listen, we're going to talk about some of those things in the second part, but we were thinking about the way that your videos over the years, they've always been quite out there, your videos. Mm-hmm. So, inspired by that, what we did, we asked our audience to see if they couldn't create their own videos using this show's theme tune. That was extremely difficult to pick the best ones, and I really mean that. So we've just got a few to look at quickly before the break. So come over here to this screen. Okay. Now, where is the first one? Dan. Where's Dan? Ah, Kel Chocolore. There he is. So stand up, sir. Now, John Tilton's first video, and it has weird links, actually, to your outside video.
Oh, I did.
Now, I have seen this, and frankly, Dan, it's inexplicable. I may have to ask you some questions afterwards, but for now, just relax and enjoy Dan Smith in his video. Here we go. Ooh, look at this. Obvious question. Are you a policeman?
No, I'm not a policeman, no.
Why? So, but that is a real police station?
That is a real police station.
Were you arrested?
No, no, they said I could actually do it.
They didn't mind
a man
dressed in a sari dancing outside?
No, they said go for it.
They're quite relaxed in Leatherhead, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Yes. Obviously, crime rate quite low. Yeah. Now, where's a big group of lads now? Mike Taylor, Michael Wood, Andrew Kemp and Philip Potter. Where are they? Yay! Honestly, it's like an early Eurovision entry, this. It's genius. Ladies and gentlemen, feast your eyes on Mike, Michael, Andrew and Philip. Here they are. Should we give it to them? Yeah! All right, lads, well done. Courtesy of our lovely friends at travelscene.co.uk. You're off on Eurostar for a long weekend in Brussels. There you go. Well done, lads. That's it. Join us after the break when we'll be causing Mr. Stateside, and George will be giving us a very special performance. I'll see you then. Very good. We found a website during the week, and it's one of those things...
I like this bit. I really like this bit.
Well, you can't show some websites. You can't show them to everyone. Do you know what I mean? You can't show them to everyone, and we're not.
You can show just about anything to me.
Well,
believe me.
that's what we thought. So, but we're not suggesting you need this product at all, right? That's where I'm going.
This product.
It's a product.
It's getting ominous.
It's an ad for product. Now, I think it's probably best if we see the product first, right? Here's the product, right? That's it. And now, this good game show, this. What's that? And it could be anything. It could be straightening hair. Can you guess what it is?
Give it to me for a second. Let me have a look. I'm never going to guess, right? Is it something really foul?
Yes. Actually, it's not that foul. It's just unlikely.
It's not supposed to bring anybody any kind of pleasure, is it?
Well, yes, sort of. Ultimately, it might.
I would have thought it was just some kind of way of painting a room twice as fast.
Well, that's another use for it, and I'm sure next year they'll be bringing it out, selling it as that. But for right now, they're actually selling this as a penis enlarger. Power gel. Now, there it is. There. Now, see, he hardly needs it, does he? But anyway, there you go.
I've had it for a week.
I love that. I love that. Click to enlarge. Now, there it is. There he is, using it. So you put it on the top there. And
You mean you
roll it down, roll it down.
I still don't really understand it. Is it supposed to enlarge it over time or something?
Well, look, it's supposed to enlarge it. Essentially, it's just a wanking tool, isn't it? It's just... nothing's happening. You just have a little wank and then paint the spare bedroom. Lovely. Now, no one kind of failed to notice that you have, over the last few years, you have become a very kind of political being. And when did that start? Did that happen after the arrest? Because it seemed like suddenly you were politically much more vocal after the arrest.
After I was outed.
Yeah.
After I was outed. I think, if I'm really honest with myself, I don't think I could be this outspoken about other things if I was worried about my privacy being invaded in the way I was years ago. I mean, there's nothing left of it now, so what have I got to lose, really? I've been quite a political person for a very long time, actually. It's just that I've never really seen any need to mix the two things. Right now, I think there's just a need for anyone who can to do exactly that. But also, I think it's to do with meeting Kenny. I think not because Kenny is incredibly politically minded. Yeah, my boyfriend of 7 years now. I think that when you're lonely, if you're very lonely, you have the capacity to be self-obsessed in a way that I think once you're sharing your life with someone properly, I think you start to be, on top of the ageing process, I think you just start to look outward a little more when you're not just searching for someone to fill a void in your life, you know. And I suppose that's part of it. Also, my mother dying, I suppose I probably wouldn't do this if my mother was alive, because I know she'd worry for me.
I mean, things like when you did the Shoot the Dog video, where it was funny, but you were taking a piss out of Blair and Bush and everything, and there was a big backlash in America then, and and the New York Post called you a pervert and everything. Are you
washed up pervert?
A washed up pervert?
Yep.
Clean. So. But are you worried about that? That kind of, that your record sales in America,
Well, I gave up my record sales in America in the late 80s. You can't sell records in America without going there and promoting. It's just not possible. Anyone will tell you that, whether you're starting out or whether you've been successful for years and years. If you're not on television in America, it's going to become like that eventually here, but if you're not on TV in America, you just don't exist. So once I decided I'd had enough of that kind of... I mean, I was the biggest artist in America for about a year. I had #1 album 2 Christmases in a row, the same album, which was quite a... No, it's a long time ago. It's a long time ago. But what I'm saying is that it was a very extreme phenomenon for me. I especially being on my own and out of Wham and not with Andrew to kind of keep me company anymore. It was a very extreme phenomenon, and I experienced, at the age of 24, the full force of what it is to be a celebrity in America, and decided very quickly that that was not what I wanted. I like American people. I've travelled the world many times, and I've found American people some of the friendliest and warmest, and I've had 3 relationships with Americans. So I don't think there's any question of that. I think anyone who has the slightest intelligence has got to be anti this American administration,
What's interesting...
The two things are not connected. Right now, we're not connected with our administration. 90% of us are saying no, they're saying yes, so they don't represent us. And I think that, absolutely, Bush doesn't represent the majority of good-meaning people in America.
Now, listen, you're going to do a very special performance in a second of... it's a Don McLean song.
Yeah, it's an old Don McLean song that I heard when I was 7 years old. It came out in 1970, which was when the protests for Vietnam were still... Well, actually, Vietnam didn't stop until 74, did it? So they were bang in the middle of all that protest stuff. And the same album that had American Pie and Vincent on it, or Starry, Starry Night, as it's commonly known, I think, they had a track at the end of it, which was a protest song. And even though I was 7, it totally and utterly made an imprint on me. as to the terror of war and what the actual reality of it was. And I think that's incredibly powerful if you can reach children with words like that. And I think ultimately that says a lot about what music is for. But the idea, it only occurred to me the other day that I could play this song live here tonight. And the idea that something that was so early in my life and so important really was a cornerstone of the way I viewed war. To get the privilege to sing it in this situation and try and help others to see war for what it is just amazing.
And this, we ought to tell people, it is a very hard-hitting song. It's an upsetting
very powerful song, yeah, and I would absolutely... Two things I would like to say, actually, before I do it. One is that I'd really like Mr. Blair and Mr. Bush, as though Mr. Bush is going to hear this, you know. Trying to talk Mr. Bush out of this war is a bit like trying to teach John Wayne to eat tofu, you know? And,
he's keen.
He's very keen indeed. But I don't think it's too late. I think maybe Mr. Blair is listening, and I would ask Mr. Blair to try and consider this song and imagine, as someone who's never been... Actually, neither of them have ever seen any active service, but both of them probably should... it would be great if either of them could hear this song and understand exactly what they're asking people to do for them.
All right. Well, look, thank you so much for coming along. And if you'd like to go and get ready, ladies and gentlemen, George Michael. Very good. That's it. I'll see you next week, same time, same place. Have a great weekend, and I'll leave you now with George and The Graves.
The day darkened had flowers gathered from the hillsides in bright summer colors, and the brown earth bleached white at the edge of his gravestone. He's gone. When the wars of our nation did beckon, a man barely 20 did answer the calling, proud of the trust that he placed in our nation. He's gone, but eternity knows him, and it knows what we've done. And the rain fell like pearls on the leaves of the flowers, leaving brown muddy clay where the earth had been dry. And deep in the trench he waited for hours as he held to his rifle and prayed not to die. But the silence of night was shattered by fire as guns and grenades blasted sharp through the air. One after another, his comrades were slaughtered in a morgue of Marines. Alone standing there, he crouched ever lower with fear. They can't let me die, they can't let me die here. I'll cover myself with the mud and the earth. I'll cover myself. I know I'm not brave. The earth, the earth, the earth is my grave. When the wars of our nation did beckon, a man barely 20 did answer the calling. proud of the trust that he placed in our nation. He's gone.